So, the next concept is the notion of neighborhood, that is very crucial to calculus. How the points are nearby, that is what mentioned by this neighborhood idea. So, suppose we start with a point C or an element, a real number C, and let us take a positive real number which is delta. So, two things we are taking simultaneously, one real number C, one positive number delta. Then we consider this open interval C minus delta to C plus delta. So, like in the real line we take C and delta is something. So, C minus delta. So, C minus delta will be somewhere here, this point, C plus delta will be somewhere here, this point, but this says it is open interval. So, these 2 points C minus delta and C plus delta are excluded. All the other points inside the interval are there. So, that interval is called a delta neighborhood of C. So, it is something like within this 1 kilometer of one's house, that is 1 kilometer neighborhood, anything is in between that. That is why this terminology delta neighborhood of C. So, C minus delta to C plus delta is the interval which is called again delta neighborhood of C. And if you exclude that point C, we will call it deleted delta neighborhood of C. So, it is really union of on the left side all the points less than C and more than C minus delta, and on the right side it is greater than C and less than C plus delta. All those points are in the deleted delta neighborhood of C. And when you say neighborhood in abstract, you will say it is a delta neighborhood for some delta. So, that means you take C and it is a neighborhood. So, anywhere it can be like this, what delta? Some delta. So, that is called a neighborhood, and when you say deleted neighborhood, you exclude that point also. That is the deleted neighborhood for some delta. Okay, so, this fixes the idea of neighborhood. We are going to use this neighborhood notion to define something else. So, suppose D is any subset of R. So, now you may take D as an interval, or they may not be interval, some points along the line, that is also possible. So, let this be a subset of R, and let C belongs to D. So, C is inside there, so that means it is non-empty. So, C is a point, at least one point is there in D. Then we say that this point C is an interior point of D if something satisfied. What is it? That there is always an open interval around this C which is contained inside D. So, that means if C is a point and D is a set, so something, and if you take some C minus delta to C plus delta, which or how big the delta is we do not know, but some delta exists. So, that such a neighborhood is completely contained inside D. So, that means if everywhere a point is missing, that will not satisfy this constraint. So, it is something like suppose all rationals are missing from D, then that will not satisfy this property. So, we call C is an interior point of D if there is an open interval around C, a neighborhood, or even an open interval we may take something like this, that is also okay, because inside it again you can find another neighborhood, smaller one maybe. So, if there is an open interval A B such that C B is an element of that open interval and that open interval is completely contained inside D, in that case we will say that C is an interior point of D. So, it is same thing as telling there exists a neighborhood of C, C minus delta to C plus delta, which is completely contained inside D. Let us take an example, say I take my set D as close to 0 open 1 interval, that is my D. Then I look at the point 0.1, obviously 0.1 is there, okay. So, this is my D, so this is 0, 1 is excluded, 0 is included, 0.1 is somewhere here maybe. Also that the point is an interior point of D. Why? Because always you can find a smaller neighborhood around that 0.1 or an open interval around that, which is contained inside this interval. We can take of course one delta which is smaller than this 0.1, then that delta will do, right. But 0 is not an interior point. Why? because once you take any neighborhood of 0, it will contain some negative points and they are not inside D. So, 0 is not an interior point, but 1 is an interior point, is it so? So, suppose I take 1, then I take any neighborhood around 1, no, it is not, because it will always contain a point which will be beyond it, and of course, 1 is not inside D. So, that does not satisfy the first property, that requirement that C must be inside D. So, we will not tell that 1 is an interior point, because 1 is not in D itself. Okay. Now, the A is the left endpoint of AB. We will say that in this interval 0 1, for example, this 0 is the left endpoint of this interval. So, you can say A is a left endpoint of all these intervals, all the 4 types of intervals, open, semi open and closed. These are all left endpoint, but in some of them left endpoint is there inside D, some of them left endpoint is not there. When it is open, so left endpoint is not there, left endpoint is not there. In other 2 intervals, left endpoint is there. Similarly, you can define the right endpoint, which is for the same intervals, we say B is the right endpoint, is the other side. So, again the right endpoint does not belong to these 2 intervals, but it belongs to the other 2 intervals. So, here we have just covered neighborhoods, deleted neighborhoods, interior points and end points. Okay. So, let us look at some problems which may be helpful before we proceed further. So, now if you have understood the decimal number, you can think of expressing 2 by 33, which is a rational number, as a decimal number. So, how do you proceed? Well, the usual division algorithm, you take 2, but 2 is smaller than 33. So, there will be a decimal point. So, you put 20 and start with 0 point in the result, then 20 by 33, no, that is not enough. So, you take another 0. So, now you have 200, result will be 0.00. Now, 200 is bigger than 33. So, you can proceed. So, that will give you this way. So, 0.06, 06, 06 and so on. So, that is how we will be proceeding. Next, let us see, find all values of x that satisfy this. This 2 divided by 33, when you start, there may be a missing 0. So, you start with 2 and take 33. So, you have 0 point, you put a 0, it is 20 is less. So, you put a 0, so that gives you 200 and divide by 33. So, that gives you 6. So, 33 times 6, which is 8 and 6 3 is 8 and 9. So, you get 2 again and it comes back to the earlier thing. So, now you see that this 06 will be repeating, it will go on like this. So, this number we will write in the form of recurring decimals as 06 1 bar. So, which says that this 06 is getting repeated infinitely often. That is how it is obtained. Now, let us look at the second problem, which says that find all values of x that satisfy this inequality. Inequality is x plus 5 by 3 with a negative sign is less than or equal to 11 plus 2x by 4. So, how do we proceed? We have to of course, use our laws of addition, multiplication and so on. So, we start with that inequality and the inequality is the same thing as multiplying 12 to both the sides. So, multiply 12 with 3, 3 is cancelled, with 12 we get 4. So, minus 4x minus 20 on the left side, and the right side you have 11 plus 2x into 3, which is 33 plus 6x. So, that we take away x to one side and numbers to one side. So, you get 6x on the right side is positive. So, it will be convenient. I take minus 4x to the other side, that becomes 10x, and bring minus 33 to the left side, that becomes minus 33. So, result is minus 53. Now, we can divide and see that x on the right side, divide both the sides by 10. it is a positive number we are dividing. So, inequality is preserved, same inequality will stay, it is minus 53 divided by 10 on the left side. So, minus 5.3 on the right it is x. So, that is how it looks. So, that means the set of all numbers, real numbers satisfying the given inequality, this inequality is the same thing as this interval. What is this interval? It is the set of all numbers less than or equal to minus 5.3. So, 0 minus 5.3. So, it is the set of all numbers here. That is how it looks. Okay. So, let us go to next problem. Find all values of x that satisfy x square minus x minus 2 greater than or equal to 0. So, now it was a linear equation in second, now it is quadratic, there is a power for x. So, x square x into x minus x minus 2 greater than or equal to 0. So, what do we do? We start with the same inequality and see how it goes. The trick is to make the left side somewhere to make it a square, complete square. So, that you can take the square root. Well, this is x square and this is minus x. So, we can say something like x square, this is minus 2 times x into half, we need here plus half square, and x square minus x is okay. This is the extra thing we have added. So, that we should subtract. This is how the left side looks, right side of course is staying as it is. Now, this expression is simply x minus half square and this you take to the right side which becomes 9 by 4. So, this is how the inequality now looks. Then from this we take suppose we have y square is greater than or equal to some a square. So, then how this inequality comes? It might be because if y is positive, you get y is greater than or equal to some a, or it is possible that this y is less than or equal to minus a. So, that is if a is here and you know y square is greater than or equal to a square, if a is positive then it will look y is greater than or equal to a, or y is less than or equal to minus a, it is positive. 3 by 2 square we can say, 9 by 4 is 3 by 2 square which is positive. So, you may think of y to be bigger than this, so that all y square is bigger than a square, or it can be y is less here. So, minus y square will be bigger than minus a square which is a square. So, y square is greater than or equal to a square. That is how we do here. So, this square inequality with the squares, we can write this as x minus half which is your y greater than or equal to positive 1 3 by 2, or x minus half is less than or equal to the negative 1 minus 3 by 2. And that gives you the first one we can write half we will take the other side, x is greater than or equal to this, or x is less than or equal to half to the other side and this, and simplify it. So, x is greater than or equal to 2 or x is less than or equal to 1. So, that means the set of all real numbers which satisfy this inequality with the quadratic will be something like 0 and this is 1, this is 2 will be here, all these numbers, or it can be all these numbers, x is less than or equal to minus 1. This is excluded, the portion minus 1 to 2 is excluded from this set of numbers. That is how it looks. So, maybe we stop today.